Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming Star Wars Rogue One 3.75-inch Imperial TIE Striker from Hasbro. Now this vehicle comes packaged in the same style packaging we're going to see with all the Star Wars products in the coming year. It's got a Rogue One theme. Up at the top, you've got the Star Wars Rogue One logo. You've got an image of some AT-ATs and TIE fighters and an Imperial Death Trooper. Then you've got some pretty cool artwork featuring the TIE Striker. You've got an X-Wing behind it trying to shoot it down, and you can see down on the planet some AT-ATs walking around. You've got the Nerf logo because there is a Nerf gun attached, and then in the bottom left corner you can see the figure that's included with this vehicle, the Imperial TIE Fighter pilot. Now this box is not that big. It's a standard size box. It's about a little over 15 inches, not quite 15.5 inches in width, and then the height of it is just a little bit, about 12.5 inches. On one side of the packaging you have the Imperial TIE Fighter pilot artwork for him, and then on the other side you've got an advertisement for their interactive app that they're doing with all the Star Wars toys. It's called the Studio FX app, and it'll allow you to make videos with your toys. And then on the back of the packaging we have a look at the actual toy itself along with the figure, shows off the various features, has a brief bio in multiple languages, and then also shows you some other toys that are coming out this year. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, and here's a look at the contents once you take them out of the box. You can see some minor assembly is required. And here's a look at the ship fully assembled along with the figure. Now I went on and put this together off camera. It's pretty easy to put it together. You do get an instruction sheet that shows you how to put it together and how all the features work and everything. You also get the little instruction sheet to show you how that interactive app works that I told you about. But putting this thing together is really simple. It'll take you just a couple minutes. You just snap on the wings here on the side and they just clip in. You put this bottom piece on, it just clips in, and you attach the canopy piece and it just snaps into place. So it'll take you, like I said, just a couple minutes to put it together. Now before we look at the ship itself, let's first take a closer look at the action figure that comes. Okay, so here's a look at the figure, a close-up look at the figure, and this is essentially the same outfit that we saw the Imperial TIE Fighter pilots wear in the original trilogy movies. You've got a little bit different control buttons here on his oxygen thing here on his chest, and this isn't removable. It seems to be firmly attached onto the figure. You've got the Imperial logos on his shoulders, both shoulders, also on his helmet, and that's done pretty cleanly. So overall look of the figure is pretty nice. And here's just a comparison with an older Imperial TIE Fighter pilot. So you can see again they're pretty much the same look and everything. Now articulation is this basic 5 points of articulation. You can turn the head to the left and the right. Now you got these hoses attached, so you want to be careful, but you can still turn the head to the left and to the right. You can rotate the arms, you can do the leg forward and back, and that's basically it. Now the figure also comes with a weapon, and it looks like a pretty standardized Imperial rifle. You've got the little magazine that sticks out on the side. It's done with a soft rubber material, so it is bendable. Not a lot of detail, just black plastic. You do have a little bit of sculpting detail on this side with some ridges and stuff. And he can hold the blaster in either hand. He doesn't have a holster or anything to hold the blaster, but he can hold it in either hand. So for the TIE Striker itself, I think this is a pretty cool looking ship. It's a very sleek looking TIE Fighter, almost has a TIE Interceptor feel to it. It's done in that gray, TIE Fighter gray color like we often see. For the wings, you've got that black paneling that's rigid, again like we often see with the TIE Fighter toys. The cockpit area is much longer than a normal TIE Fighter, almost looks like the cockpit of a TIE bomber. And then you've got the window, the TIE Fighter window on the front, and it's done with that clear plastic. You've got some black paneling here on the top. You also have some gray and some lighter, almost bluish paneling. There's not much in the way of actual paint applications on this. And then on the back, you've got that hexagon that's kind of indented. Looks like a standard TIE Fighter. You've got the little red for, I guess, the engines. You do have this gray cannon for the Nerf Cannon. I don't know if that's accurate to the movie. Obviously, the Nerf part isn't, but I don't think the cannon sticks out too badly. You can't push it up or anything. so you can't hide it. But when you don't have the Nerf missiles in there, I don't think it sticks out too badly. You have the regular cannons on the side of it, so the 2 bottom ones are done with red, and then the 2 upper ones are gray. And then you've got a place to store the Nerf missiles on the wings. The Nerf missiles are green, and it gives you a place to store up to 4 of them. You get 2, but if you have extras, you can store them there. To work the Nerf missile feature, you just take your Nerf missile and you stick it in there, and you just push it in like that. And then if you want to fire, there's a button here on the side, and you just push it, and it fires pretty far. And again, like I said, I know a lot of collectors don't like this Nerf missile feature, but I do think it makes it fun for kids, and I don't really think it sticks out that badly, so it really doesn't bother me that much. The other feature this TIE Fighter has is you can do the wings up and down. So what you do, they don't detach like we've seen with previous TIE Fighter toys, but what you can do is you can pull them up like this and they'll just click into place, and you have to pull each one up. And I guess this is for like a battle mode or something. Makes the TIE Fighter more sleek and aerodynamic, I'm assuming. And then what you do is you pull this switch and the wings will just fall back down. Now this vehicle only holds 1 figure. It almost looks like it should hold 2. It almost looks like this back should open up and you could put another figure in there, but you can't. This is solid back here. So you just get the 1 seat, and it's all just gray plastic in there. There's no stickers or paint for controls or anything. You do have some pretty nice sculpting detail on the controls. Looks like almost a little joystick or throttle or something in there. I don't know how well you can see it, but pretty nice sculpting detail. And then what you do is you just put you can put 1 figure in there, and he fits in there nice and snug. Oh, pretty snug. He doesn't have like the elastic string like we saw on the TIE or on the U-wing that we looked at the other day. So if you turned it upside down, he would probably fall out. Now they've also given you a place here on the top, on the underside of the canopy, where you can store his blaster. So since he doesn't have a holster, it's nice that they've given you a place to store that. And you have some sculpting detail on the inner side of the canopy here, which is pretty nice. So the TIE Striker is about just under 17 inches in length, and the width is about 15 inches. And here's a comparison with last year's Force Awakens TIE Fighter, and here's from an above comparison as well. And here's a comparison with the Force Awakens X-Wing fighter that was released last year. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like the look of this ship and I like the design of it. I like TIE Fighter, so I'm always glad to see a new design for a TIE Fighter. I am curious to know if this actually will appear in the movie. I hope it does. The paint applications are basic and the features are okay. I like the wings. The Nerf gun doesn't do much for me, but I do think it makes it more fun for kids. And it doesn't really stand out that much, so it doesn't bother me too much. It's going to cost about $40. It will be available on Force Friday, which is September 30th. This year. We'll have a full image gallery up at JediInsider.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook and or Twitter pages. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.